Hey everybody, it's Jang here from jangbricks.com with a Bloks Halo set review. This is the Brute Battle Unit for 2013. It's set number 97085. Costs about 12 bucks, depending upon where you get it in the United States. And it just comes with what you see here. It's basically a minifig set. Does come with the stand that you see them on. You do have to assemble that, but it's just a handful of pieces. Unfortunately, the plates are warped, so it's not really sitting there very flat. Not the first time that I've seen this happen. It's kind of weak actually, because it's a nice looking stand, even though it's simple. It's kind of has a certain amount of class to it, mostly because, well, first because it fits really well, just with the size of the figures overall once they're stood there, with some space between them, and then because of this nice Halo logo plaque right there. It just looks like something you'd be proud to display. So let's go ahead and go through the figures that are included here. Star of the show, by far, is the Brute Chieftain, and this is an awesome figure. I try not to overuse the term awesome. I know a lot of folks like to just call everything awesome because it exists, but this one I am calling awesome with all of my resistance to over-hyping things. He looks great, and there's a lot of work that went into detailing this figure. You can see, well, the mold, first off, the molds are very nice, especially with the use, well, this headpiece. His whole crown is great, but then he also has this shield on his left forearm, which has great detail carved into it. Some really fine ridges in there. That's not easy to pull off consistently in a mass-produced item. That's very nice there. It's a little bit soft, but not as soft as the head. It feels like the headpiece is made of a softer material, less prone to breakage that way with these large flaps on there. And the finish on it with the paint. So you can see paint details that are added around here. It's kind of a slightly greenish blue that's added in. Doesn't stand out a whole lot from the gray. It's subtle. I appreciate subtlety though. Here, lines going down inside of here. Here, 3 spots on the chest. Even up here on the shoulder armor, of course on the helmet, or crown, whatever you want to call this. There's a bit of it there. There's a mark across here. Each of these raised portions, those get the paint. Over here on this side, so much work went into that. You got the light gray that's actually painted on, and these fine inscriptions, just creating that texture in there. Look at that. Just take a second and look at how nice that is. That carries up into the upper armor. It's in the upper arms also, that same kind of pattern. This is good stuff. That is a prime figure right there. I mean, that's just good stuff. I really like that. I've not had a Brute Chieftain before, so for me this is great. The eyes are also well done. The mouth shape actually picks up a little bit. Looks like it may have accidentally picked up a little bit of the dark gray, but if anything, that helps. Doesn't hurt. Oh no. It's the light gray is actually painted. The light gray is painted, followed by the bright red for the eyes. So that actually makes it even more impressive to me. There's also blue down this front right here. It's hard to see with the lighting, but a little bit of that blue color here. He's got his gravity hammer, also important, and that is nicely built, nicely molded. Again, deep ridges, deep and crisp details around it, including the ridges around the upper part of the handle here. Kind of the insulation section right there. That is good stuff. Yes. A to A+ right there from me. This guy is a more regular Brute. You see, he's the kind that has the face mask over the top and a single sensor kind of Cyclops style up on the top. Active camo, obviously. Let's see if we can make that stand out a little bit better by adjusting the lighting in here and just turn this around. Does that help? Does that lets you see it a little bit better, hopefully. And he's got a Mauler. Mauler in active camo clear. Very good. This is a good one to have in active camo. Makes sense. He's a large figure. He's heavy. He can really do some damage from invisible mode. And it's hard to see the shape of things, all the texture that goes into this when it's all one color like that, especially a non-color. But that's a good figure also. We've seen this figure before, but with paint. I think I like him better in active camo. And I'm not big on the active camo stuff just for gratuitous reasons. I like it to make sense when they do it, and I think that one definitely makes sense. Spartan is dead. R.I.P. Spartan. Well, we can bring his carcass back. Stand that on the studs. There we go. So that was a Spartan with security armor. The armor is still there. The guy inside is dead. But he has the kind of medium dark green, not the darkest of dark greens, but it's kind of in between color for most of the plastic. It has a lightly applied, let me go ahead and get the light back here. It has a lightly applied matte black wash over it. What that does is it brings out details down in the depths and the cracks and the crevices. Also takes some of the sheen out of the plastic and leaves it looking a little bit dirty. So you can see around the shoulders here is where a little bit more of that was left behind. It's just a very, very thin paint basically that goes over the whole thing. Black, the entire thing. And it just leaves behind a little bit of residue that does wonders, works wonders for these figures because it makes it look not toyish. It makes it look a little bit more realistic, a little bit more believable. I really appreciate that. The security armor, or the helmet, is probably the most limited in range of motion just because it's so big and wide, bug-eyed like that. You can turn the head up and down, yeah. Side to side, not so much. Turning is okay, but kind of shaking the head side to side doesn't work so well. So a little bit limited there. Also can't look up at all. That's as far up as he can look. That's maxed out there. Take a look at him from the back. This guy's about to fall off. Don't want him to die too. Actually, he might just die in honor of the Spartan who I killed earlier. Not as impressive looking from the back. The detail in the back of this mold is just kind of washed out a little bit. Feels like it was molded and remolded a couple times. Just the lines aren't that crisp, especially around the center section here. So not the top quality mold from the back. The arms are good. You can see how, if I can get it to, there we go. To focus, you can see how crisp those lines are in there. That's really good stuff. On the helmet, that's good. It's a good figure overall. And he has a grenade launcher. It's I think it's the first time that I've personally have gotten a grenade launcher. It's in all black, and that is very well molded. Very, very well molded. It's a hard plastic piece. You won't see a lot of variance from one to the next. This is good stuff. And you can do the two-handed thing, kind of have it cross his body, turn one hand, get that under here, turn the head. That looks appropriate. The last one here is a UNSC officer, and I have trouble with the human heads in this series. When they're not covered up, the pure Caucasian flesh tone, how bright it is, just doesn't really fit with the rest of the theme. All the other guys look more believable, but that bright color just doesn't do it for me. That aside, I like the molds. I like the choice of pieces on here. I like those lower legs with the guards on the shins. I like the camo that's actually been painted onto these pieces. So it's kind of a mustard yellow plastic that's used for the upper and lower legs, as well as the arms, it looks like. And everything else there is painted on. So that's actually a lot of work also to pull that off. And especially with the arms, you kind of come around the edges. A little bit sloppy done right there, but not too bad for something so mass-produced. Also a little bit plain looking from the back. This is a figure that really wants to have a backpack. It's kind of too bad that they didn't give him one, although it does make sense given that he's an officer. Yeah, that one's not my favorite out of this series of figures, but I love that chieftain. Like I said, that chieftain is just a great, solid production from beginning to end. Everything about that is done well. To get this guy in active camo clear, very nice. And the Spartan is also well done with that light wash over it, well done paint. It's a good looking armor, and yeah, good stuff. And if nothing else, you know, pop and swap parts from this guy if you're in the same boat as me and you don't like that head. So there we go. Kind of lengthy look at a handful of minifigs. Good deal overall. I mean, this one is worth about twice as much as a regular figure to me, just because it's so large and so well done. So as far as value goes, all of these sets cost the same amount, but I think that to me this one has more value, especially because of this guy, a little bit because of this guy. I like that a lot, and this guy is also very well done. So there you go, set number 97085, the Brute Battle Unit from Bloks Halo 2013. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.